Hi, this is Erin from BlossyB. Welcome to my channel. The plan for this video is to use this silicone mould from Shein for the first time. I'm hoping I can use it to make some gorgeous luggage tags or keychains, as well as some unique fridge magnets. I'm going to be using epoxy resin and then embellishing the pieces with stickers, custom UV DTF transfers and decals. But first, I need a knife. Yes, a knife. You heard me correctly. I have a real thing about moulds with the posts built into them, and I don't want to completely ruin this, so I'm going to see if I can remove one of each of the shapes posts, and I'm hoping then that this can be a test and I can see how they go, and if it works well, you can be certain I'm just going to snip all the others off. I've come prepared. I not only have a knife, but I have some side cutters and all sorts of things. I'm feeling very determined and it doesn't take long before they're gone. So now I have a much more useful mould. I'm ready to get started. I'm using River Art Resin Deep Pour 2:1 epoxy resin, and I've mixed up what I think will be enough, and I've got 3 cups here because I'm going to do 3 colours. Now this first one is the Solid Solutions Pearl Mica in Coastal Breeze, and it is just the prettiest blue. Then we've got Raspberry Rush from the same brand, and this is a gorgeous almost red. And then I'm using Royal Gold, so I'm really hoping that each of these colours will be just really stunning. And this company, Solid Solutions Pearl Mica pigments, are really rich and they shimmer. They're all the good things. So just mixing in some of that beautifully bubble-free clear resin and mixing it together. My plan is to just do a base layer of each of the colours into the various moulds, and I'm going to let that cure before I do the next layer, and I'll be embellishing the pieces at that point. So I'm going to make sure that I stay at least a couple of millimetres away from the top, and then I'll just wait 24 hours and see how they're looking, and then we can move on with the next part. This is one of my favourite parts of working with resin. This just looks so delicious and so glossy and so smooth, and I can already see the resin moving and shrinking and changing. It's just mesmerising, and yeah, I love it. So I just went round the edge of each of them to make sure that there aren't any bubbles up against those edges, and then we just sit them to the side. And you'll see here that with the leftovers, I did some little turtles and I did some little blobs, which I just peel off and keep in a little jar. Okay, so this is my plan for that blue bottom one. So I've got these stickers. Now when they come with a white border around the edge. And as we all know, that makes them very difficult to work with. So what I decided to do was just go through and trim that white border off. So on the right hand side of the screen you can see one as it originally came. And then I thought I'd like to add a little bit more to it. So I found one with this little starfish, and I'm just cutting it in half so I can have part on one edge and part on another, and then just adhering them down with their own adhesive. So the one on the right, which is the one with the post in it, I'm choosing to use this cute turtle, and I've decided I'm going to grab some nail art stickers to just add a few little extra touches of bling to it. And I love going through my little nail art sticker pile because there's lots of little gems in here that I've bought. They're usually extremely low cost and you get so many on a sheet, and it's always lovely to think what you could use them for. So the first ones I'm putting down are these gorgeous sort of a navy blue and gold, and I feel like they look like waves almost, and I thought that that would be really pretty. And I'll just speed this up as I go through and finish this one off, but you can see I'll also add in lots of little sparkly bits as well. I really want all 6 of these pieces to have a lot of depth to them. So there's a really rich background colour and then layered images on top. So I'm adding some little cute ocean stickers to the seahorse one as well. Okay, now we'll move on to the next one. So for the gold coloured ones, I'm going to use these gorgeous UV DTF decals that I designed myself using an image from Creative Fabrica, and I had them printed to my size specifications in Australia, and it is a message dear to my heart, which is rescue all the dogs. So I've got a large one for the one on the left. When you get a UV DTF sticker, they have a cover and a backing to them. And so you take off the backing to adhere them, but once they're adhered, you then need to peel off the top. After trimming the edges, I'll go in and add a whole range of little nail stickers that I've found that I think will look super cute. So I'm going to put a couple of sort of squiggly lines under the left-hand one and just dot a few little flowers and other little pieces around the edges of the others, and they are looking really cute. So time to turn my attention to the middle ones. Now these ones, I wanted to embellish these with some most gorgeous dragonfly decals. Now these are ones that you would normally cut around and then peel off the back, but I love the way they've been laid out. So what I decided to do is to find a panel that I really like, and then I'm going to trim around that panel and get as much of that down as I can, and then I'll just go in and add some extra little pieces to make sure that the design fills all up to the edges. So I've done this before with these dragonfly stickers actually, and it worked really well. There's an amazing series I watch on YouTube by Real Science. It's called The Insane Biology of, and I watched the episode recently of the dragonfly, and it's incredible. I actually put a link in the description box if you're interested in that kind of thing. One thing I did not know about them is that they are absolutely elite predators, and they have a hunting success rate of up to 95-97%, and in fact they're one of the most efficient predators of any creature on earth. And the show goes into this and all the reasons why, but by comparison, for example, lions succeed around about just 25% of the time. Sharks, which we consider to be, absolutely deadly, around 50%. So dragonflies are right up there. And one of the reasons is because they've got these amazing eyes, and they're compound eyes, and they have up to 30,000 lenses, and it gives them nearly 360-degree vision. So it just allows them to detect even the slightest movement and track prey no matter where it is. They're also voracious eaters, and they can eat up to nearly 100 mosquitoes a day. So they're really good for reducing insects that we would find annoying or bothersome. And they are fast. They can fly up to, I think, 60 kilometres an hour. So I just think they're a very special creature. Anyway, enough of dragonfly facts. Well, I'm really happy with how these are looking. I'm just going to demould my little turtles because in a moment I'm going to mix up some more resin and I'm going to use that as a top coat to seal in all of the embellishments I've used. And of course, if there's any left over, I'll be wanting to make some more turtles. I'm going to add in some Snow White from Just Resin. This is the finest dust, and the more you mix it in, the finer it becomes. And I love using this when I'm using stickers, decals, transfers, because it actually disguises the edges quite well, and it means that you don't really see them. Plus, of course, it gives you an incredible sparkle and shine. So I'm just going to drizzle a little bit onto each of them and let that self-level. And then I'll just add a little bit more until I'm certain that it's reached all of the corners. And they are looking so glossy and so beautiful. This time I'm going to use some sparkles. I'm going to use from Harry and Wilma their Extreme Super Chameleon Glitter in Purple Hot Pink. And I think this will make some very, very pretty little turtles. And I'm just going to mix that in very carefully and then pop those into the little turtle molds. And then in 24 hours, we'll see what everything's looking like. As you can see, I also scraped out just enough to fill this little butterfly mould. So I peel off all my extra little blobs. They can go into a little jar for something someday. And my little purple turtles are gorgeous. I'm really loving those. I really love how this mould is holding up. I've had it for quite a while now and I use it so much. I've got two and I just use them all the time. Just line them up there, they're so cute. And get all of the little butterflies out. Now these are really pretty. I'm saving all of these up and putting them in a little jar because one day I'll have the perfect project for them. Okay, to the main event. Here are our beautiful, what are we calling them? Magnets, bag tags, key tags, whatever they are, here they are. So the first one I'm demoulding is one of the ones that we left the little silicone post in and rescue all the dogs. And it's beautiful, very glossy and very pretty. And I'm really loving that colour too. That gold is gorgeous. Okay, next one that we're going to demould is the same pigment, but this is the one that we cut the post off. And again, that one looks gorgeous. So I was able to use a bigger decal in that one. These are the ones with the UV DTF. Okay, on to the dragonflies. So firstly, the one with the hole in it. And this is just, this colour is so shimmery and gorgeous. It's giving me sort of beautiful lacquered wood Japanese style vibes. It's gorgeous. And here is the magnet version. Again, brilliant. Oh, yes, look where the post was. There is just a small mark. I'm not sure why I looked at that one. And I'm really happy. I'm definitely going to be cutting them all off. I can already sense that that's the way this is going. Okay, the last two. This is that beautiful blue colour with the turtle and the little water decals, and it's lovely. It's so pretty. And then the last in the same pigment is the one that I'm going to be doing as a magnet. And again, this one is so pretty. So this is the one, the paper stickers that I removed the white edge, and then embellished with the little nail art stickers. And yeah, so I'm really happy with how they've turned out. And then I have to start thinking about what I'm going to do with them. I know with the magnets, the ones without the holes, they're going to become fridge magnets. And the other ones, yeah, I was sort of racking my brain trying to think what they would be good for. While I was working out what to do with them, I did decide to go ahead and give the ones with no hole a top coat and dome them. I just thought that that would even add an extra dimension to them because they were so gorgeous. I really don't like top coating things with the little holes. I've just had so many things over the years ruined through my lack of skill with guiding the resin around the hole and avoiding it going down the hole and ruining the underneath. And I know there's lots of things I could do to help protect that, but if I can avoid it, I normally do. So I'm just taking a little toothpick and very gently easing the resin right up to the edge, definitely not over the edge, just right up. It'll cling to that edge, and then this will give it a really lovely extra layer of gorgeousness. With the leftover resin, I mix up 3 colours using the Pearlex powders in purple, green and flamingo pink, and pour some little bunny rabbits, butterflies and some more turtles. The next day it's time to have a look at what we've got, and as always these turtles just come out looking so pretty. I love lining these up, I think they look so cute. Next I'm going to demould the little rabbits. Now if you've seen a previous video with these come out with a really beautiful frosted appearance, and with the one that I did in the flamingo pink, I hardly put any pigment at all in that. I wanted a really pale look, and all the little butterflies have come out beautifully as well. For the ones that I'm going to make into fridge magnets, I'm going to just turn those over and position them so that they're not close to each other. I've had so funny things happen in the past when I'm using magnets and you sit them near each other, and while the adhesive dries, they start drifting closer and closer. So I'm trying to avoid that, and I'm picking out 2 sets of 4 turtles to do those as well. The little rabbits, I'm going to leave those as little figurines that can stand up on their own, and the rest of the turtles I'm going to leave as little pieces that could be used for something else in the future. So I'm just going to be using super glue and some teeny tiny little magnets for the turtles, and just carefully popping a little drop on them, then lowering the magnet onto them and hoping I actually get it to stick, and then maneuvering it into place. So I will go quite quickly through this, and then with the larger magnets I'm going to pop 2 big magnets on each of these because they are really substantial, and I want them to stick. And yeah, so I'll get these all done, and I'm wearing gloves because there's nothing worse than getting this on your hands and sticking yourself together. I've done it too many times and trying to avoid it. Now it's time to finish off the pieces that still have the little holes in them. And my goodness, I really did deliberate over this. My opinion is that these are a bit too big for a key tag, but they might not be too big for someone else. And sometimes people like to have a really substantial key tag. So What I've decided to do is just to put a split ring onto each of them for the moment, and then that leaves it a little bit flexible for whatever I decide to do with them. But you could also very easily use your Cricut or similar to put name and contact details on the back of them, and they certainly would make a striking bag tag. So I think overwhelmingly I am definitely all for removing the posts in this mould, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. These are much more useful to me without the hole, and if I do ever make something out of them that I would like a hole in, then I can just drill it. And the pliers that I'm using here are just special split ring pliers. They just help get the two pieces of the wire separated a little bit easier. Okay, well, I hope you've enjoyed this little adventure with this mould. I have loved all the different techniques I was able to use and the different embellishments, and I really appreciate you spending this time with me. Here's just a little video clip of all the final pieces together. We've got our key tag or bag tags. We've got, oh, look at Rescue All the Dogs. I just love that. So cute. We've got our little free-ranging turtles. We've got our little bunny rabbits, which have turned out super cute. And then, of course, we've got all of the pieces that we've turned into fridge magnets sitting on this magnetic board here. So I really look forward to seeing you in the next video. I appreciate hearing from you in the comments what you think of these and what you'd like to do with a mould like this yourself, or any suggestions for me for the future. And I'll say goodbye for now and see you soon. Bye.